But here again, civilian deaths in Israel too. Let me get a little bit to the background of Indo-Israeli relations. India now has close ties with Israel since 1992. Israel is India's India is Israel's largest market for armaments. India is Israel's largest market for armaments. The two countries' military and intelligence apparatuses have deep links in the fight against what they call Islamic terrorism. New Delhi's policy, and it's our government's policy, is one of running with the hare and hunting with the hounds. But this was not the case earlier. When the memory of colonialism was, when the public memory of colonialism was still alive, and that embassy still exists. But come the victory of the United States in the Cold War, and the collapse of the Soviet Union. In 1992, Israel and India established full diplomatic relations. In 1991, that very resolution, UN resolution, which equated Zionism with racism, India voted in the UN General Assembly to repudiate that resolution. Since then, there's been a sea change in Indo-Israeli relations. 1998, when the Bharatiya Janata Party first led a government at the union level, the first Indian Army Chief of Staff visited Israel. Later, unmanned aerial vehicles, what are called drones. In Andhra Pradesh, you must be familiar with drones used against the Maoists now. These drones were supplied by Israel for use in the Kargil war. Come the new millennium, Israeli security forces were making regular visits to Kashmir. In 2001, Israelis' Falcon airborne early warning and control systems was cleared for sale to India. And Jane's Terrorism and Security Monitor reported that Israeli intelligence agencies were helping New Delhi in combating the militants in Kashmir. In September 2003, the first Israeli Prime Minister visited India. It was the first Israeli Prime Minister to visit India. And after that followed these big military orders. Big orders for more Falcons, big orders for more Heron drones, those unmanned aerial vehicles. Now used not only in Kashmir, but also against the Maoist movement in central India. In fact, these imports from Israel, the Falcons and so on, they help to circumvent US congressional controls over these exports. As you know, the US industrial military complex is has very, very close links with the Israeli military-industrial complex. When I say this, it is very clear that the Congress party is merely posturing as a friend of the Palestinian people. The Congress party is no friend of the Palestinian people. In fact, just 2 months before it remitted office, it left office for the new Bharatiya Janata Party led government in New Delhi. In fact, the present government, the Bharatiya Janata Party government which is in power, and now of course this government, earlier it was the Congress government, now is collaborating on terrorism with Israel. As you know, Israel also considers every Palestinian and Lebanese person a terrorist. So here you have birds of the same feather flocking together. The Indian and Israeli states, birds of the same feather flocking together. India's ties with Israel are harmful, are very, very harmful. They are harmful ethically within the Israeli army itself. Humanity is on our side. Humanity is on the side of the Palestinian people. And even within the Israeli army, there are a small section called refuseniks who do not support the war against Palestine. The Indian government, we need to force our government. We need to force our government to adopt policies of boycott, to adopt policies of sanctions, and of course to prohibit Israeli foreign direct investment and Indian foreign direct investment in Israel. That is what was done against apartheid in South Africa. And if Zionism can be equated with racism, then actually the policies that were followed against apartheid in South Africa need also to be implemented today against Israel. We stand with humanity and with Palestine. We are for ending anti-Semitism. We are for the ending of hatred against Jews and other Semites. And when you say and other Semites, Arabs are also Semites. So we are against Semitism. Israel doesn't represent anti-Semitism. I don't know, from my part, I expect a third intifada to erupt. In East Jerusalem, in the West Bank, and in Gaza. A third intifada to erupt. I don't know, I'm all white now. I'm graying. I've also become a senior citizen very recently. I may not see it in my lifetime, but I would like, and I think humanity would like to see a people's democratic Palestine, where Arabs and Jews live together without discrimination, where the rights of return of the Palestinian refugees, so pre-1948, hundreds of thousands of Palestinian Arabs were evicted and dispossessed from their lands, recognizing the rights of return of these Palestinian refugees, a people's democratic Palestine. if it really comes about, and that is our dreams. The dreams of those who have the RSU in their DNA. So that's what it is. Thank you very much.